Is it on?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Count down. 3. All right, and welcome.
2, 1, 12.
All right, and welcome to another exciting and informative edition of the Love Power Show, where we have guests who are exciting, interesting, knowledgeable, fascinating, and thought-provoking. Right here we discuss all of the relevant issues, everything from the sublime to the ridiculous. We make the sublime clear. We make the ridiculous make sense. And among other things that we do, we examine the issues. We debate the issues. We offer analysis, present positions, leadership, and solutions to problems that African Americans may face. And let me warn you, today we are talking about a hot subject. And it's going to be a subject that's going to make some people mad, perhaps. And Barut has already informed me that he will apologize first and then say it. I will say it and then apologize. But want to do a little work before we get started. And then we will provide the topic for today's show, Talib. Okay. But I want to say something about my good friend, Cold Water, at the Cleveland Street Flea Market. $12 haircut. I got one. Give him a call. And his number is 901-614-5071. I got you that time, Coldwater. And while you're there, go see my friend Shirley. For all of your sewing needs, everything from buttons to a complete suit. Cleveland Street Flea Market. And while you're there, come on around the corner and see my friend Miss Lois Lomax if you want some African attire, you want some necklaces, red, black, and green stuff. I've got my friend Chris Fuller here and his lovely lady, Miss Charnel. It reminds me of Anthony Hamilton. Almost Charlene. Come back to me, Charlene. Anthony Hamilton. Anyway, see Miss Lois Lomax for those your African clothing and your necklaces and your different paraphernalia. Want to say something about my friend also, Ken Wilson, Signs Incorporated. And pretty soon we're going to need signs, flyers, banners, and all of that. My friend Ken Wilson, right there, Summer in Hollywood. The big church back there, Ken Wilson, everybody. And as I have said today, we've got Omar Baruti, Talut El Amin, Chris Fuller, and Charlene. And they're going to provide us with some spoken word pieces and some creativity. But our subject today, spending costs for African Americans on hair care and nails. Brother Charles MacArthur called last week. Shout out to you, brother. Give us a call today. If you're so inclined to do so, we appreciate you calling in last week. From Chicago, later in the program, hopefully we'll have Ms. Naima Latif give us a call and give us a take on nails and hair and all of that. Al, Booker Omar, Doc, Kazi. We're talking about making money, saving money, investing money, and educating our children. Omar, do you have a few announcements?
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for listening in. Please remember that the views and opinions expressed on this station are not necessarily the views and opinions of this radio show, nor the advertisers, nor the owners of the station. With that being said, I want to give a shout out to the law firm of Deshaun Peoples. Deshaun Peoples has been on the case for the past 15 years, and today he's handling the case of Darius Stewart, the young man that was murdered right here in Memphis, unarmed by a Memphis police officer. He has another case that's pending, which will be very similar to the one that with Darius Stewart. If you need to reach Deshaun Peoples, his number is 605-3887. That's 605-3887. I also want you to patronize another black business. That's Lily's Gourmet Bakery. Lily's Gourmet Bakery is a 5-generation farm-based family. They sell Z-muffins, zucchini bread. And you can find those zucchini bread muffins in Whole Foods store in Memphis, at Poplar and Mendenhall. You can find it also in the Whole Foods store in Germantown. If you're in Nashville area, you can find it in Frankfort, Tennessee, also in Nashville, Tennessee. You can find it in Jackson, Mississippi, Knoxville, Tennessee, Greensboro, South North Carolina. You can also find it at 6 Kroger stores. One at Poplar and Highland, the one at Poplar and Sanderland, Poplar and Kirby, Poplar and Mahaney Road, and there's several more I could list. But please go and find the Z brand for Miss Lily's Gourmet Bakery. It's going to be in this natural food section because none of her ingredients are artificial. With that being said, we're ready to go.
Do we have Brother Jabril in there?
Bring him later.
You can bring him later? Okay. Are we going to say something about CC Television?
Yes. I think you all should know that there's an organization that's being formed. It's in its fledgling stage. The name of the organization is the 9th Congressional Committee of Tennessee. It has everything to do with structuring our lives in the 9th Congressional District of Tennessee, organizing ourselves, and doing the great work that we all know we should be doing. This organization is a 501c3 group. It is one that you all can take an active role in, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.
Okay, what this topic today interprets as African Americans making money, saving money, investing their money, and educating their children. So we're going to get started. Then I want to go to Chris first for a piece. We're going to come back and do some more work and then have a little bit more entertainment by Miss Charnel. And this is a piece by H. Fields Green. She says that straight, wavy, curly, fine, coarse hair, a few things that generate more passion or anger among African American women than their hair. Some critics note that the emphasis placed on hair is a double-edged sword aimed at one's self-esteem, or when coiffed, well, i.e. good hair, becomes a passage to acceptance within the dominant culture's ideal of beauty. And I said some topics, well, let me back up. This is Love Power Show, and sometimes that love is tough. And on last week, I think, having a discussion, I want to send a shout out to my cousin Betty Wyro. I love her dearly. She was offended by our last discussion on hair and wave and wigs and weave and all that. And I will apologize because I was the one who initiated that discussion and stuff. We started laughing and fun and all that. But as we were having discussion, she came to see my point. She also, I said the nails could be done at home the last time I was here. I wasn't here last week Jeffrey moderate the show. So I'm at the helm today. And so she bought her sister, my cousin Wanda, a nail kit, you know, the pedicure and the manicure. So that was a note that we ended on. But sometimes the truth must be told. Now, shall I read that paragraph again? I want to get a take on it. Let's start right here and come around. Omar, shall I read it again? We've got a full show today. This is a full deck of cards here today. Shall I read it again, Omar, or do you have it?
Yes.
Well, I'll read it again. And here we go. Again, here's what she said. This is written by an African-American woman. And we're expecting some African-American women to give us a call today so that all men won't be sitting up here talking about women, their hair and their nails and making women mad. It's okay, listen. She says, the spending cost for African Americans on hair care and nails, H. Fields Green. Straight, wavy, curly, fine, coarse. A few things generate more passion or anger among African American women than their hair. Some critics note that the emphasis placed on hair is a double-edged sword, aimed at one's self-esteem, or when coiffed, well, i.e., good hair becomes a passage to acceptance within the dominant culture's ideal of beauty. Omar.
You know, in the African American community, we spend a lot of money trying to make ourselves look appealing and acceptable by Caucasian people, which is kind of a medication for self-hatred. A black woman looks good no matter what her hair, as long as it's natural.
Yes.
I mean, she ain't got to put nothing to it but a comb. And sometimes even a comb don't make it look any better. I mean, she's beautiful, just naturally beautiful, born like that. But when she takes
Those are the ones I like.
Yeah, but when she takes her hair and puts somebody else's hair on top of her head to make her look like something she's not, sometimes, you know what, it looks ridiculous the way they do it, and it is ridiculous the amount of money they spend on it. But then the other side of the coin is we're buying hair and other cosmetic products from people that don't look like us, and they don't give any of that money back to the black community. If we're gonna do something with the hair, we should own the industry. Since we spend so much money in the industry, and if we don't own it, then we should do something different than the way we're doing it now. Right now, we're injuring ourselves trying to make white people accept us. That's not good. That's not helping either one of us.
The key word you just mentioned. Let's go to the line. We've got a call.
Go ahead, call you on there.
Yes, I'm calling in about the topic today.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Ayodele?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Speak loudly into your phone, Ayodele, because we know you have something good to say.
Well, I'm just calling to encourage women, African women, new Africans, to love their hair, love the various forms in which their hair can be utilized in, whether it is natural, in a fro, whether it's twisted, whether it's box, whether it's short, tight. There are so many ways that can have our hair natural. Is glorifying our temple. We have been oppressed system under white supremacy and racism, and so if we're conquered and the conqueror has these images of what is beauty, naturally we will aspire to look at what we think he is. And in fact, if you look all across the world, African with their melanated skin and their different types of hair textures are the most beautiful in the world, and we need to embrace and recognize in our glory is that beauty. Also, one of the things that we need as women are considering is if your mate is telling you that he loves that stringy, nurtured hair, there may be something wrong with his mentality. He should be appreciating the tight curls that are, by the way, genetically dominant in the society. And he should be showing you and loving on your hair and appreciating it. I'm sure some of the men will look at our women who have that straightened, sometimes not hair that doesn't really belong to us, and when they run their fingers through it, they see all the things that we have to obtain those types of hairstyles. So it's a matter of reconfiguring our mentality, understanding that our seed is divine that other people aspire to. It's part of the entire package. Our tightly curled hair reminds me of a phrase from the Bible. And Jesus had hair of bronze, they're like lamb's wool. Those of you that lived on farms will have never seen a lamb in tightly curled hair that looks black.
All right, thank you, Sister Ayodele. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome.
All right. She said, Talu, the many different ways in which African American women can work on their hair and be beautiful. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
But come here, you little black, nappy-headed gal. I am not going to have you walking around in my house with that nappy head. Bring me that straightening comb and those curlers. You're not going to embarrass me in public looking like that. But what's really saying is, I'm going to straighten your hair so it can look like white folks.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the point that I'm making here is, most of our girls have no idea what their natural hair looks like or feels like. They've been getting it straightened and permed since they were little girls. And they've been doing it a whole lifetime. So they have no idea. They think their hair is the processed hair. They think, let me back up. Yes, the processed hair is your hair, but it is not your natural hair. So many of our women and girls have no idea what their natural hair looks like or feels like. Okay. So besides that, today we have learned that the cost of health care as it related to smelling those chemicals and toxins, as related to those chemicals and toxins leaking into the hair roots, getting into the body, is creating cancers of all kinds.
Of all kinds. This is a great article we have to critique today. And she mentions the cost and the damage as well. But we will recall the time when, as you just mentioned, mothers used to burn their little girl's forehead with that hot, excuse me, I almost said something that I shouldn't say on the air, with the hot straightening comb. Is this an act of violence? You see your skin burned and blisters and little blood and stuff like that. Is in fact an act of violence. Ayodele mentioned something that leads to what you said, Omar, about self-hatred, and you talked about the medication part of it, you see. So add on to that, and let's get a piece from Brother Chris Fuller.
You know, what we got to do is we got to learn to love ourselves, but as long as we don't know who we are, we can't love ourselves. All we know about ourselves is what the media portrays to us as being the black American. And that's a negative image. And when they show people of black people with beauty, they look like white people. I mean, they got their hair processed, they're trying to lighten their skin, they're trying to do everything they can to look like a white person. That's a culture that's toxic.
Toxic.
It's killing us.
Right.
Let's go back home to Africa and reconnect with our people, because they are some beautiful people. And they have a beautiful culture that don't have the toxicity that America offers to us. But because we don't like Africa, you can't think about that. White people take a vacation and go to Africa. We take a vacation and go to France. What kind of ignorance is that?
Hey, you can't. Hey,
what do they think in Africa that we don't see?
Look, you can't be. You can't.
What do we see in France that they don't see? Because they ain't trying to go there.
You can't. Look, I don't mean to overgeneralize, but you can't beat many African Americans running from Africa as fast as they can run.
Seriously.
Look, I'm sitting in the classroom one time, and many people and say this, and many times they were African American women. I ain't no African American. I ain't got nothing to do with no African and that kind of thing. But are we saying that our plan should be twofold? To learn to love ourselves through our history, and the money that we spend should be spent among each other so that we can do what we're talking about, investing money, making money, and educating our children. That part of the plan should be twofold. Is that right? You own by the entire
Look at who we are. I mean, here's a people that gave civilization to the world, medicine to the world, mathematics to the world.
Imhotep.
Imhotep. And just Africans in general.
And Africans in
Look at how many things we've invented that we don't even have our name on.
Right.
We are the most intelligent, the most durable, the most persistent people that God ever created. Not only that, but we're also the first ones God created. We look more like God than anybody else on the planet.
Okay.
If we want to look like somebody else instead of looking like God,
Okay.
that's some insanity. I mean, if God made, like she said, Jesus had hair like man wool, why we getting rid of the wool on top of our head? What's wrong with that wool? Jesus didn't, I mean, Michelangelo gave him some Clairol, but Jesus didn't give him his own self none of that. We got to learn to be who we are, who God made us to be, and be happy with it.
That's right.
So, Omar said to me yesterday that we are just, African Americans are giving their money away. Throwing it away, Talu.
Yes.
Giving it away.
Yes.
Is this a mark of insanity? You know, and I said, oh, we're going to cut up today.
Yes.
Or is this just complete insanity?
Yeah, well, it's totally insane.
Okay.
Totally, without any reservation. And the reason why is most of the hairs that we are buying and weaving and braiding or whatever into our heads come from China, come from the Middle East, come from everywhere. We have no, in fact, we actually don't have an idea specifically where it's actually coming from. It's just in the marketplace, so to speak. And we are spending billions of dollars for it because the standard of beauty has not been defined by us. The standard of beauty is defined by white people, Caucasians and Europeans. Okay, so we have to be strong enough as a people to reverse that. Okay, what is the standard of beauty for us in ourselves? Or is beauty an illusion?
Okay, good question. Ms. Charnel, let us hear from you about African American women and their hair, and throw some nails in there.
Not the nails, the nails.
Well, I think a lot of the physical form, we're like stuck on this physical form. Like it starts at home with the mother, to be exact. Because I have the 4/8 type hair, it's curly, so it starts at home. My mom is untamable. We have untamable hair. Black women, we're the most beautiful species, like in general. So it's for us to define ourselves by these European standards is wrong. On the level I'm about to get on is beyond most people's perspective because energy transfers. My hair is a definition of how high I'm vibing. The higher my fro, I love to say let it fro, go, is how high I vibe.
Okay.
So
yes.
we do these things to attract the opposite, our black man. So if our black men aren't appreciating this natural state, we won't appreciate. We will always try to live by these European standards. It starts at home, like everything starts at home. Like, and it starts from our mother, to be exact.
Yes.
Because if she's not loving herself, and that's who we look up to, that's the first God we ever met. If she's not embracing what we have, we won't. So that starts at home. Like it's a lot of things that people don't pay attention to. Now nails, me myself, I used to spend hundreds of dollars a month on nails. And it's so crazy because I used to define exactly how I want my nails done. Like, word from word, spend hours telling this lady, do the design that way, do it this way. But you gotta shape it a little bit that way. We can do this at home. And it's actually cheaper. You save so much money. You can actually, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do with your children because we do populate so much. So it's a good thing to start at home and get that money flowing backwards instead of into people, because they don't come to our shops. They like our culture, they like what we spend, but they don't pay attention to what it's like to uprise us. So, and that's the sad part, but it just starts at home.
And this article covers much of what you just said in terms of where the nail kits can be purchased and how much money we spend.
Yes.
And like Ayodele said, it's a twofold problem. And it's not just the women, it's the African American men too, saying that they like the other hair and stuff of unconsciousness. So the problem is twofold. Chris, can we get a piece?
Okay.
What are you going to do for us? Is it the black man's goal or
Nah,
image
it's
or?
called Just call it Renaissance Radical.
Okay, Renaissance Radical.
It's with all due respect, the aim is not to be politically correct or more direct with what I project. Because as we know, all it takes is black skin that free from bondage, strip the labor the suspect. Let's resurrect our prototypical mindset before the motherland became a globalist treasure chest, digging up our roots out the ground. But that type of info won't get no play on the media's outlet. It's time to invest in what we need to manifest to progress. This process is in our people's best interest, because the stigmatism of America's prison have kept our sense of nationalism replaced with the system will religion, not intention taken, placed in the condition of harsh living. Placed in the condition of harsh living.
Hit it.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, we disturbed it. We got excited. We disturbed. Go ahead, man. Finish it up.
With more jobs, I wouldn't have to rob, so I wouldn't starve. But there's no black privilege around these parts. Go to school just to follow rules. Authority is true. Conform, monkey see, monkey do. A bunch of policies, studies, reconstruct the need, but no trades to bring back into my community. And this is a place where I should be an entity that naturally has the ability to think free, limited to no boundaries, endless possibilities of prosperity born within me. But knowing who you are doesn't sell, but doing it to no avail can never prevail. Doing it to no avail can never prevail. Watered down our music to teach us to hate ourselves, to see our place here in this world on a lower scale. But when we look at each other as sisters and brothers, kings and queens, then there's no force around that can touch us or corrupt us. We eating out the undercover, who only here to infiltrate our structure. Keep a white out from Uncle Rucker, sell out his color, even his mother, to discuss deals with them devils over supper. Given the higher position to keep us living how we live in better commission, not to mention what we missing. Then they set laws in place designed for us to break. Because a slave is the only thing a cell can make. But even after our cultural disaster, they have yet to admit that Black Lives Matter. This is nothing new, it's been in plain view every day. They're gunning down one of our youth and use black on black crime to justify what they do, to delude you into these invisible truths. I refuse to be subdued, institutionalized and introduced as a puppet to keep you in the loop. A misguided truth life in the flesh until my last breath. It's Black Gold Soul. I'm the hip hop Malcolm X.
Whoa. Good time.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear this next paragraph. She says that then there are those who view hair, commercial or natural, as an accompaniment to an outfit, like a hat or that essential accessory that glams up the whole look. Despite what stance you view the landscape from hair, African American hair and the cultivation of that look via the placement of weave is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And that's something that we've covered and talked about constantly on the show. She said it is a multi-billion-dollar industry that African Americans are spending. And Omar, you pointed out the major problem with this is that it's being spent in the wrong place,
Yes, sir.
going to the wrong hands.
Yes, sir.
It's not coming back to us as a people, as a group.
Yes, sir.
That is, tell me what I think you want to say something. You weren't.
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
Okay.
So,
Say something about her change.
you want to say something about
Yeah,
it?
about
Go ahead.
I just want to say about the natural state, and then I'm through, is that a lot of the time, like the Queen over there said, you know what I'm saying, it's just the women trying to uphold standards of black men. So when you got a lot of black men who understand or idolize these European standards of beauty, then you get that type of mindset. You know what I mean? So I feel like once the black man can change and understand where we're coming from as a man and what we look for in our women in natural care, then it can change. You know what I mean? So that's just really all I just want to say on that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we're too far from it. And in Memphis, we got a shop like it's in Memphis, we got shops to help maintain natural care. A lot of times we don't even know how to continue to be natural because there's no teaching other than if you ain't looking for like documentaries, you don't really see a lot of advertising for natural state. But we got a lot of shops that help people do that, like Nappy by Nature and Elvis Presley. On Sherry Drive and Elvis Presley in Whitehaven, they help you do your dreads. You know, you got natural hair like my queen over here. They got hair care products, they got skin products. A lot of it's a black business. So a lot of time, a lot of our fashion is not so much of our fashion. We just spending it with the wrong people.
Okay.
Like we always been stylish people. You know,
Okay.
we've always been the people of fashion.
Right.
So you know,
Like
just how we
color
spend it.
and all that.
Yes, sir. And if we find black business to invest there with it, I mean, I'm not saying it won't be as detrimental, but it'll at least be less because we have.
Well, let's start. Because the key word you said was teaching.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to her. Caller on the line.
Good afternoon, this is Pearl, the hair diva. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to hear from you, Pearl.
Hello, Pearl.
Thank you.
Yes. Help us out.
Pardon me?
Help us out. Give us your take on it.
Okay, I thought you wanted to ask me something.
Well, what do you think about, well, you can say something about what you do at your shop with hair.
Okay, I'm the
Yeah.
third generation owner of Legacy Locks and Natural Styles. We were founded in 1950 by my aunt, the late Burkill Benson, in the historical Soulsville district. And well, we were 65 years old last year. I forgot we're in the new year. And Happy New Year to everyone.
Nappy.
Happy New Year, yes. But we're a full-service natural hair salon. We also do transitioning styles, cut, color, and we do extensions.
Okay. And what you said, transitioning styles.
Transitioning styles are when a woman is going natural and she doesn't want to remove all of the chemical straightener. You all know it as a relaxer. She doesn't want to remove that all at once. Actually, there are 3 ways that you can go natural if you're in a relaxer. You can miss a few relaxer retouches. That's when the product is applied to the new growth and straightened. So if you miss a few touch-ups, then you have some new growth at the scalp. It could be at least an inch, depending on how long you've been without the retouches. But you can remove the relaxer at the point of the new growth, and a lot of people call that the chop, or kind of like just doing the cold turkey, removing all of the relaxer at once.
Okay.
Then you have the second option of putting the hair in some type of extensions. It could be braiding, the crochet styles, the weave, the hair extensions, as you all have made reference to already.
Yes.
And then periodically, when she comes out of that style, she's removing the relaxer until all of the relaxer is gone. And then the third way would be a transition style where she's wearing her real hair out, but it's a style that would accommodate the 2 textures. The new growth, the nappy hair coming out from the scalp, and then the straight portion on the ends. And also, that term growing out of a relaxer or growing out of a perm, it's a misnomer. A lot of ladies get that confused. A lot of people get that confused because they think if they have just not had a relaxer retouch in a certain amount of time, they're natural. No, in order for you to go from relaxed hair to natural hair, you have to cut the relaxed portion off, whether it's all at once or whether it's gradual, but you won't be natural until you remove the relaxed portion of the hair.
Okay. What was that first option you mentioned?
Just cutting it all off, removing all
Okay.
missing a few touch-ups and getting you a little new growth, some new hair, natural hair, and then removing all of the relaxer.
Okay.
And you start off with like a short fro, and then as the hair gets longer, the more styling options you have.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pearl, for giving us a call. And perhaps we're going to have you facilitate with us in the future workshops on hair as well going forward. Maybe we can have you back into the station at some point. Thanks for your call, okay? Have a good day.
All right, you're welcome.
All right. One more paragraph real quick. And right here she's talking about $10,000. She says extensions can cost as low as $300 depending on your geographical area and go up to $10,000 based on the service. Strand by strand. Extensions are weft track that are calculated per weft is a set price for the entire head. Says Atlanta-based beautician Tony Love, who has more than 20 years experience experience styling hair with the addition of weave placement. Again, here we're talking about money going elsewhere, out of the community, to someone who doesn't look like you and really doesn't care about you. That's basically what we're talking about in this particular paragraph right here, continuously. Ms. Charnel, can we get a piece of your free spoken word? Is it freestyle spoken word, or?
I just wrote this. So.
You just wrote it?
Yeah.
Okay. Creativity. We just had Kuumba.
Is it powerful to say that my melanin makes me a queen? A god of my time? The love that glows from a movement of my lips? Black love, colorblind to anything that can't understand the vision I have as my fists rise for this revolutionary fix? Can't confuse me with the attitude that a black woman should have. Will you kill our melanin kids and have us confused as we are not an equal? My poetic lines is a mix of what my ancestors would want me to speak, be the visionary meaning to a bright future, hair that swirls with the universe of physical form, born to be abnormal, a Meyer, a limited edition of fine melanin, casting a spell of this black magic, the return of our natural roots.
All right.
Talent beyond talent. Absolutely.
Yes.
Ultimate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Platinum. Omar, when we look into the Korean nail salons, what do we see?
Before I answer the question, let me remind our audience that the Marcus Garvey Institute is not open this school year. We need assistance to flow to Marcus Garvey. We must finance our children's future. There's no doubt about it. You cannot depend on the one who put you in the condition to get you out of it. And that institution is a beacon of light in the community. Right now it's in the Orange Mound community. They have a new building, but it needs some work done on it. And one of the primary things it needs is a central air system, a central heat system. It was removed from the building before Brother Jabril got that building. And I want you to contact Brother Jabril at 643-6271. That's 643-6271. They also need laptop computers for the students when school does start again. They need janitorial supplies. Anything that you can offer to them, including cash, cards that work or don't work, they can be turned into cash. But anything you can offer will be a great asset to the Marcus Garvey Institute. Please call Brother Jabril today, 7 days a week, 901-643-6271. Now to the question.
Yes.
When you go in to most of these Korean shops to buy whatever you buy, what you'll find, and I've gone in there to sell insurance. I sell insurance. And I've had them to tell me, even though my insurance is a name brand company at a good rate, they tell me, no, buy black. Make it real clear in English, so I don't have to interpret it. No, buy black. And so I'm thinking, if you don't buy black, why you sell black? Why don't you get out the community and let somebody black come in here and take over the shop? We have got to change the way we spend our money. And we got to change our image of who we are. When you talked about glamour earlier, whose standard of glamour are you looking at? I see African queens all over the continent of Africa, and they don't look anything like white people. Nothing like them. The way they dress, the way they do their hair, they are gorgeous. But when you look in America, we're the only people on earth that I can think of that want to look like somebody that's not us and be like somebody that will never be us, and then they'll be trying to be us. They try to get their lips enlarged so they can have what they call Paris lips, but they're really African lips. They go to the suntan parlor. They get a skin color. And sometimes burn themselves, get skin cancer trying to look like us. And we be trying to look like them. That's some ignorance and some nonsense. We got to break that barrier in 2016. We got to break it down, destroy it, bury it, and go back home.
Okay. Thank you, Omar. Talu,
Yes.
have you ever looked into one of these nail shops and seen something that was inconsistent?
Inconsistent.
Yeah. In other words, the Korean technicians wear masks, but our African American women are sitting there not wearing a mask.
Oh.
So if you don't know anything about that business, to me, your mind should raise the question. Why is that?
I don't think anybody cares.
Okay.
Most certainly the Koreans and those
Okay.
people in that business doesn't care.
Don't care.
Don't care about it.
That's terrible.
What they're interested in is your money, and we're bringing it in by sacks, loads.
Right.
You know, we're bagging our cars up, bringing it in with a trunk
Oh,
load,
the trunk.
okay,
Yes.
across this country.
Okay.
Actually, anybody with good sense, after clarity has come, after an awakening has happened, will kill the industry. So we don't need a industry based on beauty in the 21st century. What are we going to do with it? What is beauty doing? What case in history? What has beauty gotten you lately? Nothing.
Okay.
Just walking around. And an example. You may see a black woman in Germantown looking like $6 million, dressed to the T, hair down to her shoulders, just like their hair is. But catch that bus and come back over in South Memphis over there.
Okay.
And be ashamed if you even approach them to say something to them. Why are you approaching me? Why you want to, why are you talking to me?
Okay.
Because she's afraid you're going to discover she's from South Memphis, from
Okay.
the urban area.
I see.
Okay? So my point is this.
Okay.
Let's channel that money in new directions. Let's give up on beauty. Forget beauty. Hadn't gotten us anything. It hadn't opened up any door. Furthermore, the Tennessee state legislature, okay, passed some law to keep us in check. We can't change our names anymore. And some businesses are requiring black women to wear white women style hair. Some children are put out of school in white areas because they're wearing natural hair.
Okay.
So we create a monster for ourselves that we need to destroy.
Okay. You bring up some interesting points about three different entities that you put in there, but Charnel, there's nothing wrong. Is there anything wrong with looking good?
No, well, see, the thing is,
Most people want, a lot of people want to look good, is that right?
yeah.
But can one look good without destroying oneself and the community, according to one's own African or African American standards?
Well, see, like I said, the things that we as women do, we do to attract the opposite. So if the man is not approval, like if his approval is only by European standards, we will never get anywhere in this uprising system because we're still determining our beauty, our self-worth by these European women who, like you said, they go through everything to look like us, be like us. But that's the thing, a black man will always want his black queen. A woman who has self-knowledge of that, like we have a natural allure to attract the black man. So it starts with the man. Like the man has to approve of that because that's who we do this for. We do this to attract you. So
Well, don't men do the same thing?
Yes, and that's the thing.
So this is sort of a natural phenomenon.
It's a natural way to go about it.
Like to appeal to women, and so therefore they like to look appealing.
Yes.
And women, so there's a balance that should be struck there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
And
but
like, most people, when like we so stuck, like I said, we're so stuck on this physical realm. Like they don't realize that we have a soul. You know what I'm saying? Like a beautiful soul. Because you can be as pretty as old outdays, have the best fashion, but your attitude and your personality can make you the ugliest being. So we need to let go of this physical.
Right. And I think Brother Talu, he points out three things. He points out the shame of coming back to South Memphis, then interpretation. Then he points out the self-hatred aspect of it, based on all of the lack of self-knowledge and that kind of behavior and mental attitude and carry on. So I wanted to, with that question, I just wanted to strike a balance in terms of male and female relationships and why we do what we do. In terms, and I think we're going to go into the natural order of things, which is going to make us talk about relationships at some point. It's very important for African Americans, so that we learn how to relate to each other as men, at the same time we learn how to relate to each other as women or mates, and subsequently to that, children as well.
Because a lot of things that we do is like, and that's the bad thing, because the youth is who we need to be concerned with. Like, my generations, we're the start to that. Like, we have a lot of people who are older than us who don't accept that we are open-minded to a lot of things. So with these kids raising children, you understand, like they're raising them, so they're not even raising them, just putting them out there to be eaten by wolves. So we go by all these standards and we don't know where to go to. We don't have it at home. We're in this system at school that doesn't teach us self-love. So it's something that we cannot get being stuck in these standards. Like we have to drop every system that these Europeans brought to us. We have to return back to our natural roots. That's what it is.
We don't need it.
Yes, we gotta let it go. It's not, they get us our physical form, the way we eat, like it's crazy. Like I'm a proud vegan. I'm going in on my black woman with that because we have to go back home with our body. We have to eat clean, be fresh, like take care of everything within ourselves. That's what it is. And the way to start that the black man have to approve that. You can't discourage her from returning natural. You can't discourage her from wanting to be herself, because a lot of them, like me, I always have long curly hair, but when a man likes my long hair, I cut it off.
Okay.
If you don't like me because I have long hair, you gotta like it when it's short.
Right. Okay. One more thing Talu pointed out was when a moment of clarity comes and we've got a call on the line, that is when minds should change. You also mentioned what should be done as a result of. So that tells me that we have to step up our game in terms of promoting what we do right here on this show. We have to get out here and organize and teach and educate. So that is going to be done, have to be done twofold. We've got a caller on the line. Come on in, caller.
Good morning, this is Naima Latif from Chicago.
Good morning, Naima.
How are you?
Fantastic, good to hear your voice. What do you think about this discussion?
Well, I understand that we as women spend a lot on things like hair and nails and so forth out of the pressures of society to be accepted. But the only way you can keep from being exploited in that manner is to accept yourself. And if you think about it, you're spending money usually to someone else, because people who have, in a large part, the corner of the market on hair and nail work are immigrants. And they don't generally live in the African American community. So you're giving money that's leaving the community, going to enrich someone else's community. Basically, you're paying other people to say that you, as you are inadequate. And you're willing to do that, be accepted by other people who will never respect you anyway, because they don't know how to respect other people. So why are you paying them money? It doesn't make any sense. And all the things that you want to do to beautify yourself, you should have the skills to do without it costing you anything. We should always know how to groom our own hair and take care of our own nails. It's our body. So pay someone else money make you acceptable to another group of people is insanity. It's the worst form of low self-esteem. And I know a lot of them may disagree with this, but you have to look at it. If you don't like the person in the mirror, you get up in the morning, no matter what you put on the outside, you're still not going to like that. But at the end of the day, you have to take it all off. You're still who you are. So learn to love you as you are, and it doesn't cost you a penny.
Okay. And Naima.
Yes, sir.
What decision did you make about the conversation you had with your associate about her suggestion to you to spend more money on, what was it she suggested to you?
Well, did I spend more on hair and nails? We go maybe to the spa and get a makeover and all of that. I'd be fun for a minute. I mean, I even actually, just for the fun of it, modeled in a fashion show, and it really was to be supportive of a friend of mine who's a clothing designer. But, you know, that's not how I go to here every day with the fake nails and fake eyelashes and all of that. And I grow my own hair. I wear locks so they grow out of my own head.
Yeah.
Long hair is not something I'm going to. I've done that in the past. But, you know, synthetic hair, I mean, anything that's the nail bed of your actual nails over time. So anything that's damaging the synthetic parts of the hair, your own head will make your own hair grow out, come out and fall out, and you see a lot of bald patches because they weren't extensions for so long.
Yeah.
Anything that's not natural, it does not really help your natural body chemistry. So as far as her suggestion, I'm going to perhaps enhance my own natural beauty in natural ways that don't require me to add anything fake.
Yes. Fake or unhealthy.